What if I told you that the frozen foods sitting in your freezer right now could be silently aging your body 10 years faster? And if you're over 60, this matters more than ever. Because as we age, our metabolism slows down, inflammation rises, and our heart, brain, and joints become far more sensitive to what we eat. And today, I'm going to show you the 4 worst frozen foods seniors should never touch, and the 4 frozen foods you should eat daily to protect your heart, brain, and longevity. Let's get into it. The 4 worst frozen foods for seniors. 1. Frozen TV dinners and processed meals. Let me speak to you directly for a moment. If you're over 60 and you're relying on frozen TV dinners and heavily processed frozen meals because they're convenient, quick, and easy, I understand. They seem like the perfect solution. Just heat, eat, and you're done. But here's the truth most people don't realize. These meals are quietly working against your health. The biggest issue is sodium. Many frozen dinners contain anywhere from 1,000 to 1,800 milligrams of sodium in a single tray. For seniors, that's extremely dangerous. As we age, our kidneys don't regulate sodium as efficiently, and our blood vessels become stiffer. That means excess sodium can rapidly increase blood pressure, strain the heart, and raise the risk of stroke. And the scary part? You might not feel it happening. Then there's the quality of ingredients. These meals are typically loaded with refined carbohydrates, white pasta, white rice, mashed potatoes made from flakes, which spike blood sugar quickly. If you're pre-diabetic or managing type 2 diabetes, that blood sugar roller coaster can worsen insulin resistance over time. Repeated spikes lead to more inflammation, more belly fat, and more metabolic stress. And let's talk about preservatives and additives. Processed frozen meals often contain artificial flavor enhancers, stabilizers, and shelf life extenders designed to make the food taste good after months in storage. While they may be approved for consumption, regularly eating these ultra-processed ingredients has been linked to increased inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of heart disease, arthritis, cognitive decline, and even certain cancers. Another overlooked problem is protein quality. Many of these meals contain low-quality processed meats or minimal real protein, leaving you feeling hungry again soon after eating. That can lead to overeating later in the day. For seniors, maintaining muscle mass is critical, and poor quality protein simply doesn't support that goal effectively. Convenience should never come at the cost of your long-term health. If frozen meals are necessary, look for options with under 500 milligrams of sodium, at least 20 grams of quality protein, and recognizable ingredients. Your body deserves real nourishment, especially now. Frozen fried foods. Let's talk about frozen fried foods for a moment, because this is one category that causes more damage than most people realize, especially after 60. I'm talking about frozen chicken nuggets, breaded fish sticks, mozzarella sticks, frozen fries, onion rings, the quick, crispy comfort foods that go straight from freezer to oven. They look harmless, they're convenient, and they taste good. But here's what's really happening inside your body when you eat them regularly. First, the oils. Most frozen fried foods are pre-cooked in refined vegetable oils like soybean, corn, or canola oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, your body needs some omega-6, but too much creates imbalance. And when omega-6 intake is excessive, it promotes inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the root of many age-related conditions: joint pain, heart disease, insulin resistance, and even cognitive decline. Second, the breading. That crispy coating is usually made from refined white flour and starches. These spike blood sugar quickly. After 60, your insulin sensitivity naturally declines, meaning your body struggles more to handle those sugar spikes. Over time, repeated spikes contribute to weight gain, increased belly fat, and a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Then there's the processing. Many frozen fried foods contain additives, flavor enhancers, stabilizers, and excess sodium to maintain taste and texture after freezing. Sodium levels can be shockingly high, which raises blood pressure and increases strain on the cardiovascular system, something seniors simply cannot ignore. And here's something people don't think about: oxidation. When oils are heated during pre-frying and then reheated at home, they can form oxidized compounds. These compounds increase oxidative stress in the body, accelerating aging at the cellular level. Now, does that mean you can never enjoy them? Of course not, but they should be occasional indulgences, not weekly staples. If you love crispy foods, consider air-frying fresh vegetables or lean proteins at home, using stable oils like olive oil in small amounts. Your goal after 60 isn't just to live longer, it's to live stronger. And reducing frozen fried foods is one of the simplest, most powerful steps you can take. Frozen pizzas with processed meats. Now, let's talk about frozen pizzas with processed meats, because this is one of the most misleading foods in the freezer aisle. It looks simple, right? bread, cheese, maybe some pepperoni or sausage. It feels like comfort food. But for seniors, this combination can quietly become a serious health burden. First, let's look at the processed meats. Pepperoni, sausage, bacon crumbles. These meats are typically cured with nitrates or nitrites and packed with sodium. High sodium alone can drive up blood pressure, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. After 60, your blood vessels are less flexible, so that extra salt has a much stronger impact on your cardiovascular system. Then there's the saturated fat content. Processed meats combined with full-fat cheese create a heavy load of saturated fats. While small amounts may fit into a balanced diet, frequent intake can raise LDL cholesterol levels in some individuals, contributing to plaque buildup in the arteries. Over time, that means reduced blood flow, not just to the heart, but also to the brain. And speaking of the brain, diets high in processed meats and refined carbohydrates have been associated with increased inflammation and oxidative stress. Chronic inflammation is one of the key drivers of cognitive decline. If protecting your memory is a priority, and it should be, minimizing these foods matters. Now let's examine the crust. Most frozen pizzas are made with refined white flour. That means low fiber and a rapid spike in blood sugar. As we age, blood sugar control becomes less efficient. Frequent spikes can worsen insulin resistance, increase belly fat, and strain metabolic health. On top of that, frozen pizzas often contain preservatives, artificial flavor enhancers, and stabilizers to maintain texture and taste during long storage periods. While individually approved for consumption, regularly eating highly processed foods has been linked to greater risk of chronic disease over time. Does this mean you can never enjoy pizza again? Absolutely not. But the key is quality and frequency. If you love pizza, consider making it at home with a whole grain crust, fresh vegetables, lean protein like grilled chicken, and moderate cheese. That way, you control the ingredients and your health. After 60, your body responds more strongly to what you eat. Choose foods that support your heart and brain, not ones that slowly work against them. Frozen desserts and ice cream. Now let's talk about frozen desserts and ice cream, because this is the one people defend the most. I deserve a treat. It's just a small bowl. It helps me relax. And listen, I understand that. Food is emotional. It's comfort. It's nostalgia. But after 60, your body processes sugar very differently than it did at 30 or 40. And that's where the problem begins. Most frozen desserts are loaded with added sugar. A single serving of ice cream can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar. And let's be honest, most servings are much bigger than what the label says. When you consume that much sugar at once, your blood glucose spikes rapidly. Over time, repeated spikes strain the pancreas and worsen insulin resistance. That increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, belly fat accumulation, and metabolic syndrome. But it doesn't stop there. High sugar intake also increases inflammation. Chronic inflammation contributes to joint pain, heart disease, and accelerated aging. If you wake up feeling stiff or achy, excess sugar may be playing a bigger role than you think. And here's something many seniors don't realize. Sugar impacts the brain. Diets high in added sugars have been associated with faster cognitive decline and impaired memory. Your brain thrives on stable blood sugar, not constant spikes and crashes. Then we have the fat content. Many frozen desserts combine high sugar with saturated fats, creating a double hit to cardiovascular health. This combination can raise triglycerides and negatively affect cholesterol levels when consumed frequently. And let's not forget hidden ingredients, artificial flavors, stabilizers, emulsifiers, designed to improve texture and shelf life. The more processed the dessert, the further it moves from real, whole food. Now, does that mean you can never enjoy ice cream again? No. The key is frequency and quality. Consider smaller portions, lower sugar options, or even frozen Greek yogurt with berries for added protein and antioxidants. At this stage of life, every choice compounds. Occasional treats are part of living well, but daily sugar habits quietly accelerate aging. Protect your heart, protect your brain, and make dessert the exception, not the routine. Frozen foods seniors should eat daily. Frozen berries. Let's talk about one of the most powerful foods you can keep in your freezer right now, frozen berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. These are not just fruits, they are nutritional powerhouses. And here's something many people don't realize. Frozen berries are often just as nutritious, sometimes even more nutritious than fresh ones. Why? Because they're picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen immediately, locking in their vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. For seniors, this is incredibly important. Berries are rich in antioxidants like anthocyanins, which help fight oxidative stress, one of the main drivers of aging and inflammation. Lower inflammation means better joint health, improved heart function, and even stronger immune support. But it gets even better. Studies have shown that regular berry consumption may support brain health and memory. As we age, protecting cognitive function becomes a priority, and berries provide natural compounds that help improve blood flow to the brain and reduce age-related decline. They're also high in fiber, which supports digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. That means fewer spikes and crashes, something your metabolism appreciates after 60. Add a handful to oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies daily. It's one of the simplest, smartest habits for healthy aging. Frozen leafy greens. Let's talk about frozen leafy greens, because this might be one of the most underrated foods in your entire freezer. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, these are nutritional gold, especially after 60. And here's the surprising truth. Frozen greens are often more nutrient-dense than fresh greens sitting in the produce aisle. Why? Because they're harvested at peak ripeness and flash frozen immediately, preserving vitamins and minerals before they have time to degrade. Leafy greens are packed with magnesium, which supports heart rhythm and muscle function. As we age, magnesium deficiency becomes more common and can contribute to fatigue, muscle cramps, and irregular heartbeat. They're also rich in vitamin K, which plays a key role in bone strength, something every senior should prioritize to reduce fracture risk. Then there's folate and antioxidants. These nutrients support brain health and help reduce inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of joint pain, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. And let's not forget fiber. Fiber supports gut health, stabilizes blood sugar, and improves digestion, all critical as metabolism slows with age. The best part? They're convenient. Toss frozen spinach into soups, omelets, stews, or smoothies. No washing, no chopping, no waste. Simple, powerful, and protective. That's what smart nutrition looks like after 60. Frozen wild-caught fish. Let's talk about frozen wild-caught fish, because this is one of the smartest foods you can add to your diet after 60. Many people assume fresh fish is always better. But here's the truth. Most fish labeled fresh at the store was previously frozen during transport. Wild-caught fish that's frozen immediately after being caught is often fresher and more nutrient-preserving than fish sitting on ice for days. Now, why does this matter so much for seniors? Fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These healthy fats are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. As we age, inflammation naturally increases in the body, contributing to joint stiffness, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Omega-3s help calm that inflammatory response. They're also incredibly protective for the heart. Omega-3 fatty acids help lower triglycerides, support healthy blood pressure, and improve overall blood vessel function. For anyone concerned about cardiovascular health, and that should be most of us after 60, this is critical. And here's something even more important. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. DHA, one of the primary omega-3s in fatty fish, plays a major role in maintaining cognitive function and memory. Regular intake has been associated with slower age-related mental decline. Frozen wild-caught fish is also a high-quality protein source, which helps preserve muscle mass. Maintaining muscle is essential for balance, strength, and independence as we age. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week. Bake it, grill it, or lightly pan-sear it with olive oil and herbs. Simple, clean, powerful nutrition that supports longevity. Frozen vegetables, no sauce. Let's talk about plain frozen vegetables, and I want to emphasize something very important here. No sauces. Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, green beans, Brussels sprouts, when they're frozen plain without cheese sauce, butter glaze, or creamy seasoning packets, they are one of the most powerful foods you can eat after 60. Here's why. First, frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen immediately. That locks in nutrients like vitamin C, potassium, and antioxidants. In many cases, they can actually retain more nutrients than fresh vegetables that have been transported long distances and sitting on shelves for days. Second, they are loaded with fiber. Fiber becomes even more important as we age. It supports digestive health, prevents constipation, helps stabilize blood sugar, and feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. A healthy gut isn't just about digestion. It influences immunity, inflammation levels, and even mood. They're also naturally low in calories and high in volume. That means you can fill your plate, feel satisfied, and maintain a healthy weight without overeating. Weight management becomes more challenging after 60 because metabolism slows, so high-fiber, low-calorie foods are incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about the no sauce rule. The moment you add cheese sauce, creamy butter blends, or sugary glazes, you dramatically increase sodium, unhealthy fats, and hidden sugars. What was once a healing food becomes processed and inflammatory. Keep it simple. Steam them, roast them with a little olive oil, add garlic, herbs, or lemon. When it comes to healthy aging, plain frozen vegetables are one of the easiest daily wins you can make. Let me leave you with this. Your freezer is not just a storage space, it's a daily decision point. Every time you open that door, you're either choosing foods that quietly increase inflammation, blood pressure, and blood sugar, or you're choosing foods that protect your heart, sharpen your mind, strengthen your bones, and help you stay independent longer. After 60, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. But here's the good news. It responds incredibly well to smart, consistent choices. Small changes, repeated daily, create powerful results over time. You don't need a complicated diet. You don't need expensive supplements. You just need awareness and better decisions. Swap the processed meals for real ingredients. Replace frozen fried snacks with antioxidant-rich berries. Choose plain vegetables over sauced ones. Add omega-3 rich fish instead of processed meats. Healthy aging is not about perfection. It's about direction. And if this message helped you, I want you to do 2 things right now. First, share this with someone you love, a parent, a spouse, a friend, because information like this can literally change lives. Second, take a look inside your freezer today and make one upgrade. Just one. That's how momentum starts. Your future health is built on today's habits. Choose wisely and choose consistently.